Hello everyone. So today we have a nice strong flow for you today. A lot of standing, which is good, so we'll come right off of the wrists for some time. We're really going to use the legs, a nice stretch but strengthening, so finding that ease, that sukha between the efforts. I really want you to think about that in the rest off, and then when you're feeling strong, really take note of all the muscles that are working to stabilise you in that certain shape. So in the meantime, come down onto your back, and if your back isn't for you today, find another position. It really doesn't matter, just a place where you're nice and comfortable and you can observe your breath. So I'll give you a moment to get into that nice comfortable position. If you're laying down, take a little bit of space in between the feet and the hands away from the body. If you're sitting up, make sure that the spine is nice and long. Even if you're laying down, make sure that the spine is in a nice long and straight position. And then when you're there, take the deepest breath in that you've taken all day, and let the breath come out of your body audibly. So really let that sigh go. And then do it again, deep breath in. And then let that breath go. And then close your eyes. Take this moment to observe where the breath is today. Is the breath high up in the chest? Or perhaps you've got that lovely full yogic breath deep into the belly, right up to the collarbone. Perhaps the breath is just deep in the belly and you're using that lower portion of your lungs. So try not to change anything just for the moment. Just take the first couple of moments just to notice. Perhaps the breath is through the mouth. Perhaps the breath is through the nose. Perhaps you notice maybe one nostril, if you're breathing through the nose, is slightly dominant in taking that air in. Make any adjustments that you need to in your body, just making sure that your body's nicely grounded into the earth. If you're laying down, add a little bit of weight into the heels, the hips, the shoulders, the back of the head. If you're sitting up like me, make sure that the sit bones stack down just a little bit more into the mat. And then I'm going to ask you to place your right hand onto your belly. And then your left hand onto your chest. There's no right or wrong here, so you can keep your eyes closed. You can trust that whatever you're doing is right for you at this moment. And I want you to feel the breath into the palms, or perhaps one palm. If you're breathing high up on your chest, you'll feel that breath in your left palm. If you're breathing deep into your belly, you'll feel that breath in your right palm. If you've got that full lung breath going, you'll feel both palms moving. Now start to really feel the inhale, and then lengthen the exhale. So filling that inhale again, and then lengthening the exhale, trying to just be aware that the exhale is longer than the inhale. Now with your palms where you are, can you really dial that breath deep into your belly so your left hand stays still on your chest? You can just feel the inhale really press into that right hand. So thinking of your stomach as a balloon. And the inhalation expands the belly, pressing it into that right palm. And then the exhalation, the belly deflates, you get that nice contraction of the tummy and the hand follows. So just playing with that. I don't want any movement, or try not to have any movement. If it's just not happening today, then again, just be where you are, something to practice on in the future, but try not to have any movement of that left hand. Just being aware of the movement in the right hand. So inhaling, belly inflates, pushing the right hand out. Exhale, belly contracts, right hand follows. Try not to create any tension anywhere in the body if you're sitting up. Let the shoulders, the elbows be nice and soft. If you're laying down, exactly the same thing. Nice and soft everywhere in the body, just concentrating on that breath. But we don't want to create tension. So if you're feeling that this work now is just not for you and your mind is wandering off elsewhere, relax off and just be with your very own breath. But if you're really feeling this breath work today, we'll start a count. So inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. Keep going. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you keep that rhythm going. Fully expanding the belly. So when you get to 4, your belly should be full. And then on the exhale, when you get to 5 and 6, you should really be contracting the abdominal muscles. You should feel that work. We're going to go for 2 more rounds. So inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Lovely. Inhale for 4. Make sure that belly is nice and full when you get to 4. Lovely. Exhale for 6. When you get to 5, contract the belly. When you get to 6, pushing that last little bit of air out. And then release the hands to the sides of the body, to the knees, wherever you are. Relax. Observe your natural breath. Slowly and gently open your eyes. If you're on the floor laying down, bring your feet together, interlace your fingers and take a big stretch, full body stretch. If you're seated, interlace the fingers, take them up overhead, full body stretch here. Stretch all the way up. Deep, deep breath in. Exhale, release everything down. Slowly make your way to a nice tabletop position. So when you're there, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're still going to observe that lovely belly breath, but if your breath wanders and you don't get it the whole time, don't worry. Something just to come back to when you need to. So spread your fingers nice and wide, come onto the tops of your feet, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, pressing the knees into the mat, lifting the heart space up between the shoulders, lengthening the crown towards the top edge of the mat, lengthening the tailbone towards the bottom edge of the mat. And then from here, I want you to think about your hips being solid in this position, no movement coming through from the hips, and just moving the upper body, shoulders side to side. The hips stay nice and still here. Just getting a little bit of movement in your upper back, so the thoracic part of your spine. The neck is following where the spine goes, so we're not integrating the neck. Just think about the portion of the spine that attaches to your ribs moving here. So you might even feel the ribs also be integrated into this movement. Lovely deep belly breath. See if you can get just a little bit more. Remember, the hips are nice and solid, no movement. Beautiful. Come back to centre this time. If you need to come off the wrists and make a few circles, do so. And then this time the upper body's nice and still, and just the lower portion of your spine takes the movement. So think of your hips swaying side to side, nice and slowly here. So we're not just thinking about a quick movement, we're thinking about how the spine's working. Can you visualize that point of your spine where the movement starts and the movement stops? What's happened to the breath? Still that nice deep breath. Lovely. Come back to center. This time integrate the whole spine, so just a nice free movement, however you want to move. How is this feeling good in your body? What can you do to make it feel even better? Maybe you want to change direction and go cat-cow. Your choice. You've got 3 rounds of breath, so keep that movement going. Lovely. One last round of breath. Make any movement that you want here. Lovely. Then come back to a nice strong tabletop position. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up to down dog. Beautiful. Pedal out. Now from here, soften your knees so that your tummy draws towards your thighs. And if down dog isn't for you today, come to tabletop position and go through whatever movement you want to make. Pedal the heels out. Perhaps you play with the stance of your feet. Perhaps you play with the stance of your hands. Take them a little bit wider or a little bit more narrow. Softening the elbows, bending both knees, stretching both knees. Drawing that lower rib down towards the belly button, letting the head hang. Lovely, deep, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly, slowly make your way to the top edge of your mat, where you land in a nice forward fold. Generously bend the knees here. Maybe you even sit your hips back a little bit more, so there's a nice shelf for your torso to rest on. The chin can drop down towards the chest. Lovely. Then if you want a little bit more, you can start to straighten through the legs, snuggling that spine, snuggling the hips down, getting nice and comfortable. If you want a little bit more, you can take your right hand, place it under your right foot, so the palms facing up, left hand under left foot, palm facing up. And then you can lift your hips a little bit more, flatten your back, stretch your shoulders away from your ears. This is a lovely stretch down the hamstrings, through the glutes, perhaps through the arms and the shoulders. breathe nice and deep here, take your time, and if this isn't for you, remember there's lots of options. Just find a nice soft forward fold, perhaps coming in and out of half lift. One more deep breath in here. See if you can push the hips back a little bit more. Exhale, slowly release, and then inhale, slowly rise up to mountain pose. Take your time. Make any adjustments that you need when you're there. Lovely, then big inhale, big reach up here, really stretch through the upper body, drawing the shoulders away, creating a little bit of space in the upper body here so we're not sucked in tight, keeping a nice free softness in the upper body today. So I don't want you to stretch to your most capacity. Find ease within that effort. Then big inhale here. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Lovely. Hands rest on the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Step your right foot back and drop that back knee. Come onto the top of that back foot and then inhale. Let the heart open out here. Find a little bit of space in the body. Take your time, maybe a little bit of movement through the neck, maybe a little bit of movement through the hip. What feels good today? Beautiful, plant your palms and then step back to plank pose. Now, if you need to drop your knees, you can. Just let the weight come forward, lengthen through the neck. If you're lifting your knees up, let the heels really shine towards the bottom edge of the mat. Lovely, deep breath in. As you exhale, everyone's going to drop their knees and then release all the way down to their belly. Forehead kisses the earth. Deep inhale. As you come up for cobra, take what you need from this shape. So if you want a little bit more, don't be afraid, just be aware of what's happening in the body. If your body doesn't like it, then you just need to come down a little bit. Beautiful, deep breath in. As you exhale, press back up to plank. And then all the way up to down dog. Take a moment. Beautiful, right foot steps up for a lunge. Drop that back knee. Find space in the upper body, let the heart shine forward. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Perhaps let the hip drop a little bit more. Remember, when I say let the hip drop, don't just dump all of your weight. Find length. Beautiful, deep breath in, and then as you exhale, lift that back knee, step that left foot up to meet the right foot. Lovely forward fold. Maybe you take a nice gentle movement here. And then inhale, half lift, your version. Exhale, forward fold. Slowly roll all the way up, mountain pose. Take your time to make your adjustments. And then inhale, arms reach all the way up here. Lovely, exhale, forward fold. However you get there, it's your choice, your practice. It's nice to be at home because you can make it whatever you want it to be. Inhale, half lift, your version. Exhale, forward fold. Lovely, plant the palms, step the left foot back. You have to go on a diagonal because of Maggie. Drop that back knee, come onto the top of that back foot. Find a little bit of space. Can you draw the shoulders down the back body? Can you draw the belly in? Can you make this strong? So you're not just hanging out in this lunge. You're finding a nice stretch through the hips, but strong and supportive also. Beautiful. Deep breath in, plant your palms, step back to plank, your version. If you need to drop the knees, you can. Beautiful, then everyone's going to drop their knees, release all the way down to the belly, tucking the elbows into the side body. Inhale for your cobra, your version. Try not to take the glance up, keep the neck nice and safe, nice and long. Beautiful, deep breath in, tuck the toes, exhale all the way up to plank with a dog on your back. and then all the way up to down dog. Sorry, Maggie. Lovely. Take a couple of rounds of breath here. And then step that left leg through for a lunge. Remember, if you need to use your hand to get there, you can. Drop the back knee. Take any shape you want here, any movement. Perhaps you find a little bit more in the hips. And then lift that back knee, step it all the way up, forward fold. Perhaps this time you clasp opposite elbow to opposite hand. Maybe you soften the knees even more and push the hips back a little bit more. Maybe you take that version of hands under the feet. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then slowly, slowly roll all the way up. When you're there, do what you want with your hands today. If you want prayer position, or perhaps hands on hips, or just hands releasing down to the side, do what you need to do. Close the eyes, just observe. Can you feel the energy starting to shift in the body? Beautiful. From here, open your eyes. I'm going to turn myself on my mat so that you can see me. Sorry, Maggie. Beautiful. So, from here, hands are going to come to the heart. You're going to step your right foot back about halfway on your mat. And then turn those right toes out. So they're pointing up roughly to the top edge of your mat. The front knee, keep nice and soft. So we don't want to lock it out. We want to just keep it so it's a little bit buoyant. Lovely. From here, big inhale, big reach up. And then as you exhale, think forward fold here. Halfway lift. So the back is nice and long. Think about passing something in your hands to somebody over like a piece of water or something like that, so that the back stays nice and long. Now, if it becomes too much on that front leg, you can soften that knee a little bit more, or just don't come down quite as far. Just keep it to the point where you've got that nice sensation, where the body's still saying yes. You don't want any no signals from the body. So, drawing the belly in, taking that nice halfway lift. You're peeling that left hip crease back. Beautiful. Reach with your hands here. So there's a nice length through the back body. As you soften into this shape, you might be able to just reach a little bit longer here. Try not to round off. If your back is rounding off, come up. Beautiful. Deep, deep breath in. Then as you exhale, you're going to bend that front knee. The left hand is going to, or the left elbow is going to come onto that left thigh. And then the right hand is going to reach all the way up. Beautiful. You might want to step that right foot back a little bit for a little bit more. Lovely. Deep, deep breath in. As you exhale, perhaps this right hand reaches towards the top edge of the mat. Perhaps that left hand comes down towards the mat. Drawing the belly in. Firing through that back foot. Lovely, deep, deep breath in. Full, full exhale. Now, from here, hands are going to come to the waist as you pivot on that back foot. So you're in a nice high lunge. Keep that front knee bent as you bring the right foot up to meet that front foot. Chair pose. Feet about hip width apart or wherever's comfortable. So if you want to draw them in a little bit closer, you can. Lovely. So bum sits back, knees come back. If the arms up doesn't feel good, you can reach them forward. They can be in prayer pose. Find a little bit of freedom in the tailbone here. Beautiful, breathe. Now, deep, deep breath in as the hands reach all the way to the back edge of the mat. And then as you exhale, they reach down, they swoop past the mat. Exhale all the way up. When you get to volcano pose, deep breath in as you take a little back bend here. Let the hips come forward. Take a couple of rounds of breath here. Now, it doesn't have to be a massive back bend. It might just be a little one here, perhaps opening through the heart, perhaps just a little look towards the sky. But see what it feels like when you slide your hips forward into that back bend. Integrating the whole body rather than just the spine. Beautiful. One last deep breath in. Then as you exhale, stack the body. Hands are going to clasp behind the back. Big stretch here. Draw the knuckles down and away. Now step that right foot back again, about halfway. Toes are going to point forward this time rather than opening out. Peel the left hip crease back. Deep breath in, open through the chest. Let the heart lead the move as you exhale all the way down to a point of comfort, which might just be here for you. It might be a little bit further down. You might be able to get all the way down and let the hands float over the head. Peeling that left hip crease back. You can release the hands nice and slowly all the way down to the earth. If you want to lengthen through the shoulders a little bit more, drawing the crown of the head towards the top edge of the mat, and then release back into it using your breath. Just a couple of rounds of breath here. Really be aware of what the body's telling you. If that front hamstring, that left hamstring is too much, soften the knees. One last deep, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, bring that right foot up to meet the left foot, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, your version. Exhale, forward fold. And then slowly, slowly roll all the way up. Mountain pose, close your eyes, shoulders release. And while you connect back to your breath, I'm going to turn to the other end of the mat so you can see me there. Lovely, hands to heart. Let the shoulders release. And then this time step the left foot back about halfway. Make sure that you have width between your feet, so you're not on one line, you've got a little bit of surface area beneath you to balance upon. And then inhale, big reach up. Tummy draws in, that right hip crease peels back. Lovely. On your next exhale, take that halfway lift position. The back is nice and flat. Now remember, it might just be here for you. We're not locking that front knee out. It's nice and soft. The belly's drawing in to support the back. You might be able to take it a little bit further. And then as you breathe and relax into the position a little bit more, it's a strong position, but do find ease, find that sukha. You're not clenching through the toes here. So it might be a nice opportunity to look down at your toes. Are you squeezing your toes in? You should be able to lift your toes up and still feel nice and secure in this position. Using the breath, observing what's happening in the body, backing off if the breath becomes laboured, and then bend that front knee. Right elbow comes towards that right thigh. Left hand reaches all the way up here, shoulders stack, pressing through that back foot. taking time to feel this shape, what's right within the body. If you want a little bit more, left hand can reach towards the top edge of the mat. Breathe. Lovely, hands to the waist, pivot on that back foot so you land in a nice high lunge. Keep that right knee bent. This isn't going to move. Fire through your glutes here, your bum, as you bring that left leg up to meet that right leg. Chair pose, hands reach to wherever's comfortable, maybe straight out, maybe up, maybe to prayer. Find release in the tailbone. Can you sink a little deeper? Again, look down at your toes here. Are you clenching through your toes? You should again be able to lift them. We don't want tension in the feet. Deep inhale as the hands reach all the way to the back edge of the mat. Exhale, they scoop down. Inhale, reach all the way up. Lovely, let the shoulders release. And then take that little back bend if it felt good. Hips slide forward. Shoulders release. Perhaps you take a look up to the top edge, up to the ceiling this time. And then on your exhale, stack, clasp the hands behind the back. Perhaps you go for opposite thumb on top. Knuckles draw down and away. Chest lifts. Find a little bit of an opening here. And then left foot steps back. Toes towards the top edge of the mat. Soft in the knees. Heart's going to lead the move. As you take a deep breath in, exhale, peel the right hip crease back. Meet your appropriate edge, wherever that is. Remember, sensation over the shape here. If you want to follow on your journey and let the hands release over the top edge, over the top of your head. And then you can slowly, wherever you are, release the hands towards the mat. Perhaps you're here, perhaps you're all the way down here, perhaps you're here, hands can come onto waist if you need to. Beautiful, just find that little bit of ease here. And then step that left foot up to meet that right foot. Sit your hips back so your tummy comes towards your thighs. The tummy might even rest on the thighs. Let the chin release towards the collarbone. Let the head release. Excuse me, and then take a couple of breaths here. Feel the belly as you inhale, pressing into the thighs. So that same sensation as when you were laying down and you felt the breath in that right hand. Feel the breath, the belly pressing into the thighs. You have 2 breaths here. And then plant your palms, step one knee back, then the other, tabletop position. Swing your legs around. Come all the way onto your back. Sorry, Maggie. I'll put you here. When you're there, just find a nice moment of feeling the body supported on the earth. Palms facing up, shoulders relaxing down. And then slowly, with intention, you're going to draw one knee into the tummy, then the other, clasp around. Take a gentle sway side to side, really squeezing the knees in towards the tummy here. And then draw the nose up towards the knees. Squeeze and lift here. Shoulders remain relaxed. Can you feel the breath again? Take a couple of breaths as you release the hands all the way towards the bottom edge of the mat. The knees stay in. The tummy's contracting. Palms face up. Deep, deep breath. Lovely. Exhale. Release the upper body down. Take the right leg nice and long. Left leg nice and long. I'm going to come into fish pose. So, draw the legs together. You're going to take the left hand, palm facing down, and place it underneath your left bum cheek. And really draw the elbow in. Right hand, palm facing down, under the right bum cheek. Now squeeze the elbows in close together. So you already get a lift through the chest here. And this might be enough for you. You might just want to stay here, feeling that nice opening, and you can exaggerate this stretch to the front body just by breathing a little bit deeper. But if you want a little bit more, squeeze the shoulders together. Take a deep breath in as you look towards your toes. Exhale, drop the head towards the mat, the crown of the head. Now all of the weight is in your elbows here. There's no weight through the crown of the head. Although the crown of the head is touching the mat, there's no weight. If there's weight going through the top of your head, come out of it very slowly and rejig yourself. So the weight is in the elbows. I'll go through that again for you. So, hands underneath your bum cheek. The elbows are tucked right in. So the shoulders squeeze together. Deep inhale to look at your toes. Exhale, weight goes into the elbow. The chest draws up and forward. Crown of the head drops towards the mat. Throat is open. Heart is open here. Breathe nice and deep. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, lift your head, look towards your toes once more, and then let the elbows come apart. Take your hands out, palms face up, shoulders release down. Take a couple of breaths here. From here, you're going to bend one knee, then the other. Toes facing forward. Take them to wherever you want to take your feet, whether you want them nice and close or far away, it doesn't matter. Hands still, palms still facing up. Take a deep breath in, let the knees drop down to one side, it doesn't matter which side. Find a nice twist. Make any changes to the shape you land in that you need to. Then on your next breath, take the knees up and over slowly, all the way to the other side. Make any changes that you need to in this shape. All the way back to centre. Take one leg nice and long, the other leg nice and long. Right hand to the belly, left hand to the chest. Connect back with that deep belly breath. Then when you're ready, release your hands away from the body. Set yourself up for a comfortable Shavasana. Visualize your body starting to relax. Find a place that's comfortable for you to be in meditation. Softly close your eyes and take some deep breaths to relax into the present moment. Let go of anything that has happened before this point, anything that needs to happen after. And just take a moment to practice real awareness of your breath. And now bring your full attention to your toes. Become aware of any sensation here. And if you don't feel anything, just notice the absence of feeling. But whatever sensation is there, let it be without judging it or trying to change it. And then let your attention move on. Slowly bring your focus to the soles of your feet. Again, simply noticing any sensation in them. Moving to the sides of your feet and then to the tops of your feet. Now rest your attention on your ankles, which carry the weight of your body. What sensations do you feel here? Simply become aware of them. And then shift your attention to the next spot, continuing up your legs, your calves, your shins, knees and thighs. Whatever sensation there is, notice it. And then move on. And if you're finding it hard to concentrate today, try silently just labeling that part of the body where your attention resides. Moving to your hips. Awareness of the region as your attention rests on it. Noticing what sensations are there. And then once you have, moving on to the next area. Shifting your attention now to your abdomen and lower back. Now your chest, spending as long as necessary on each area until you become aware of a sensation or absence of sensation. You don't have to analyse or name the sensation. All you're doing is noticing it. Becoming aware of the shoulders, so often a source of tension. What do you feel here? Sweeping your attention down the arms, the upper arms, elbows, the lower arms and wrists.
And then noticing the sensations in the hands. Now focus your full attention on the neck and throat. Slowly moving up the face, the jaw, the mouth, the upper lip, nostrils, the cheeks, your ears, your eyes and forehead. You may notice sensations on the surface of your skin or inside your body. There's no need to look for anything particular. Just simply notice what is here. And then finally, sweep your attention over the back of your head, picking up any sensations that are there, whatever they are. And then rest for a few moments, being aware of the body as a whole. And before you move away from this meditation and get on with the rest of your day, try to bring this awareness of the body with you as you go about your daily chores, your daily life, always being aware of the body. Namaste.